What's up, everybody? I am here today with my brand new Spyderco. Oh, that's not a Spyderco. Oh, no, this is not a Spyderco. This is a Ganzo knife. I had never heard of Ganzo until maybe about a month or two ago, to be honest with you. I was watching another channel, Birdshot IV, and they were actually talking about their Ganzo knives. I'm like, what the heck is a Ganzo knife? So I was looking them up, and they seemed pretty decent for a cheap price. So I figured, well, let me look at them. And come to find out, they are mainly clones, as a lot of you probably know. Let me just wipe this off because I have fingerprints all over it. They are mainly clones of other knives. This one is a clone of a Spyderco Bird. I forget the exact one it is a clone of. But as you can, I'm just going to show you kind of close up. The blade is 440C steel. It has FRN scales, which for those of you who don't know, I think that's Latin for plastic. Okay, it's fancy plastic, I guess. It has a lockback mechanism. Pocket clip. It's not bad. It's pretty stout pocket clip. I don't see that bending off or anything. It's adjustable, so you can put tip up, tip down, ambidextrous carry. So that's pretty cool. Nice texturing there. Now, this, you might say, oh wait, that's a Spyderco ripoff, but it's nothing at all like Spyderco because it has an oval, not a circle. Okay, but it's not a bad knife. This cost me about $15 on Amazon. My main reason for wanting it is, number one, I was just curious about them. Some of them are actually pretty cool. They're not all ripoffs, from what I can understand. Some of them are like there's this one that's pretty obvious. There's another one that looks like the Ontario Rat. Looks like exactly like the Ontario Rat. And then some of them look like they're kind of their own designs. And then there might be a couple other ones that maybe are ripoffs, but I don't recognize them. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the Spyderco version, well, you got the Spidey oval. I got some jimping right in here, which is nice on that thumb ramp. Some jimping right here. In case you're wondering, I do not have the actual Spyderco version, so this is kind of new to me. Unfortunately, because I would love to actually compare and contrast them. I'm thinking they are extremely close in hand. So there we go. It has steel liners inside. Like I said, the FRN handle. Looks like it's a pretty decent clip in there. Clip's not bad at all. 440 steel. Let's see here. Just show you that a little bit. And believe it or not, it is pretty sharp. They advertise that they are sharp right out of the box, and they are. And right there, FB knife, Firebird, made by Ganzo. This is model F759M, and again, they say it's 440C. I'm going to pull out this piece of cardboard that I got some Velcro in, just to let you see how it is. And pretty sharp right out of the box. And, 440C is not bad. Doesn't have the best edge retention, but on the bright side, it'll be pretty easy to sharpen and to keep up. Pretty easy to open. Was a little stiff and gritty when I got it. I just got it a few hours ago, and I've kind of been opening it and closing it just to kind of work it out a little bit, and it really has worked out quite a bit. So not bad at all, really. Now, I know some people don't like the fact that it's a clone. Well, to be honest with you, I would kind of, like I said, two reasons I bought this. One is because I was just kind of curious, because some of their knives actually look like pretty good quality for the money. G10 handles, D2 steel, decent action on them, and they're like $25. So I was kind of curious to see how they were, and I've been thinking of picking up a Spyderco, so I said, you know what, let me get a fake Spyderco and see how this is. My other reason for wanting this is because I tend to keep a knife in my door handle. And I like to keep that there for a couple of reasons. Number one, if I need a knife, it's right there. And number two, if I happen to be at, let's say, an ATM or some other reason why, you know, somebody who's not so nice might be there, I kind of have a knife there. And like I said, for all kinds of utility needs. So I just like having it there. But let's take a few measurements. See how big this thing is. So let's bring the tape measure back a little bit. So right here, it is just a smidge over 4 inches. Closed, so 4-inch handle. The blade is, well, let's put it this way, from the top of the handle to the tip of the blade, it is about almost 3 inches. I'd say maybe 2.9 inches. The cutting edge, that's a whole other story here. And that is just about 2.5 inches. Now, where I live, some states I'm thinking would consider the knife length to be from right over here to the tip of the blade. Where I live, they go to the top of the handle. So, that's the situation I'm in. Welcome to life in a blue state, people. Life in a blue state. Okay, so let's take some measurements here. Let's see. Let's see how thick that is here. And that is 0.09. And then as it tapers up, it really is quite a taper. Midway 0.04. And right near the tip 0.02. So that is quite a taper. The handle 0.38. And we'll take a couple of measurements along here. So we have 0.96. This tapered part here, 0.77, 0.78, and has a pretty nice choil too. Like I said, with this choil here and the thumb ramp, if you're doing some kind of fine cutting, it would be really good. You know, just kind of ease back in there and do some cutting, doing feather sticking or something. That would be kind of cool. Lock works pretty well. There's no jimping or anything on the lock, which kind of surprises me. But if you notice, it's kind of weird. Like, it doesn't go in like a bowl or anything. It's almost kind of like the top of a trapezoid. If you notice, it kind of comes down like a straight line here, then it comes straight at the bottom, then kind of a straight angled line. And your finger kind of finds it very easily, and you know, very easy to close. And opening up is extremely easy too. Like I said, it was gritty for maybe the first 10 or 15 opens and closes, but I have been opening and closing it, and I find that it opens and closes pretty easy. It's nice and sharp, and I'm assuming that this action is really going to loosen up quite a bit once I get going. Centering is a little bit off. As you can see there, it's favoring towards the right by a decent bit, but it's not interfering with the closure or anything, but it is off just a little bit. But I'm going to let that go because this was like $14.97. As far as the lockup, it is very nice and tight. That lock works well. There is no play at all. Nothing left to right or anything. Now, granted, I just got this, again, a few hours ago, and all I've been doing is opening and closing it and doing some light cardboard cutting. So it's not like I've been using it for 7 years and put it through its paces. So again, take that for what it's worth. As far as the box goes, came in this FB knife. So I'm guessing Firebird is like a subsidiary of Ganzo, and Ganzo makes the Firebird. So product Ganzo Knives, brand FB Knife, China, Ganzo Firebird Industry and Trade Company Limited, Hong Kong Firebird International Trade Company, Ganzo.cn and GanzoKnife.com. So, not bad. And then this tray was slid in there. It came in this plastic bag. They give you a knife pouch, which is okay, I guess. Silica gel, and it looks like they put some kind of a brochure down there. And this kind of just shows an exploded view of one of their knives, not necessarily this one, because you can see how this one has their version of Benchmade's Axis lock here, and this one does not have that. But you know, with steel liners, back spacers, and all that good stuff. I'm actually very curious about how their lock system works. I guess I've seen reviews on YouTube, and it seems incredibly like an incredibly smooth locking system, and it actually surprised me quite a bit, to be honest with you. Now, I know that you can probably go out and get a fake Spyderco somewhere for like $6 or $7, but you're probably not going to get this type of steel. I mean, not that this is high end or anything. It's an inexpensive steel, but 440C is not bad. The handles are pretty good. It is a little rough in here. I mean, you can tell like right in there. Some of the finishing's a tiny bit off, and the spacer here kind of peaks up just a little bit. So they are very, very fine, nitpicky kind of things. But you know what? You're not going to hear me complain. If I had to rate this on Amazon, I'd give it 5 stars. It's sharp. It locks back well. It fits in my hand pretty well. And really, for the price of wanting this for my car, it's really, really a good value, because if it gets stolen, or I would have shut my door too hard and it gets lost, which has never happened, but if I put an expensive knife in there, I know it would. It's not the end of the world. I could just go get another $14.95 or whatever and buy another one. It's not like you're actually losing $100 Spyderco. So not a bad knife. I know some of you are gonna probably want to vomit saying you got a clone, and I did. I bought a clone, but it's a pretty cool clone. They actually have a cleaver that they have. It's a D2 steel and G10. It's not a bad looking knife. I'm actually kind of considering that. The only bad thing about it is that it has like 3.5-inch blades, so I can't carry it unless I open carry it. And then if I open carry it, I feel like I'm inviting a police officer who's not familiar with the law to stop me and say that knife is too big and have a really bad day. Me, not him. But then again, sometimes when people talk to me, I think they kind of have bad days. But that's another story for another time. So I hope you enjoyed this little look at the Ganzo knives. If you are not familiar with them, go on Amazon, check them out. I think because of the nature of their business, as far as I know, they are not carried like on Blade HQ or like Blade Ops or Knife Center or any of the other larger knife sites. So, like I said, Amazon's probably the most likely place for you to find them. So go check them out. If you need a cheap knife for something that's decent quality, low price, might not be bad. You could certainly do worse. All right, I will talk to you later. Have a good one.